Welcome to the Rise and Ride Show, the podcast with me, Katie Jacks from Align and Advance, equine Reiki practitioner and rider confidence coach. This is your space for honest conversations around rider confidence, mindset, horses, healing and personal growth, helping you feel calmer and more connected, more confident, both in and out of the saddle. If you enjoy this podcast, I'd be so grateful if you could subscribe and leave a review, because it genuinely helps more lovely, heart-led equestrians find our community and feel supported on their journey too. Thank you for being here. Now let's get into today's episode. Thank you for listening today, everyone. We have got Cerys here from the Bash Diaries on Instagram. She is at the Bash Diaries. And I saw a post of hers that I thought might resonate with you guys. So I asked her to come on the podcast, which she kindly has. Thank you. And thank you for coming. And would you like to tell us a little bit of background about your horsey life, how you started?
Well, I'm Cerys. I am 27. I'm from Cornwall. Oh no, I'm 28. I've just turned 28 from Cornwall. My journey to horses was probably a little bit different. So I come from a completely non-horsey background. My mum is petrified. And so when I was 13, I did my Duke of Edinburgh Award, which, if anyone listening doesn't know what that is, it's where you have to volunteer, do a sport and do a skill, and then you go on a big expedition and you get awarded for it.
Yeah.
So for my volunteering, I put a load of feelers out and I ended up volunteering on a backing and rehabilitation yard. They took in a lot of horses with different behavioural issues and kind of worked through it with them. And that was how I volunteered. And I just mucked out and cleaned tack to start off with. And then in return, they taught me to ride on one of the youngsters. So I learned to ride on this beautiful, newly backed 6-year-old. She was an Irish draft cross Percheron. She was beautiful. And they taught me to ride, and she was quiet as anything. She was lovely, but they taught me to ride on her. And then I rode like quite a few that they had in over the years. And I worked for them from when I was 13 until I was 18. So I could, by that point, I had a pretty good seat. I could kind of sit to anything, but as a teenager, you don't really care anyway, do you?
No, you don't care.
Not at all. But I didn't really have any other kind of worldly equestrian knowledge. So then I went to uni in Cardiff for a year, and I volunteered again at Cardiff Riding School, who are a fantastic riding school. And I remember I worked in return for lessons up there, and the first lesson that I did, they were like, "Oh, now you need to change the rein," and I was like, "What? Like, what is changing the rein?" And I was like an absolute bonker. But I could sit to whatever they put me on.
Yeah.
I just didn't know how to ride like a proper equestrian. I was like a whoppy.
So you kind of learnt it the other way around?
Completely backwards. Backwards. Like I could walk, try and canter. I could sit to any antics. Like I loved hacking. I would hack for hours. But in the school, numpty. Absolute numpty. Had no idea what I was doing.
Excellent.
And then I kind of, when I came home then, I came home after a year and I transferred to Falmouth Uni, and I rode for different people, had a lone horse who was lovely, started to do a bit more jumping, and then I actually instructed the beginners at a local riding school, and from that just gained more and more experience, got a bit more confident in the school. And then I actually didn't buy my first horse until I was 22. Which was in lockdown. I bought Ruby, who was a 13-year-old thoroughbred, and she was a lunatic. Absolute lunatic. But she was fantastic. She was just like, there's no words. I could be here all day talking about Ruby. Like, she was absolutely incredible. And I bought her in lockdown, and it was when everything was really tight. And it was it was a welfare issue, because I said I'd buy her the week before we went into lockdown. We went into lockdown, you weren't allowed to transport anything, and then her companion pony had to be put to sleep.
Oh my gosh.
So they could you please, can you take her now? And I was like, oh. So we snuck her to I couldn't even bring her into the livery yard that I was taking her to. We kind of pulled up in the middle of, it was dodgy as anything, pulled up in the middle of the night, in a
Yeah.
car park and then walked her up to the yard so that no one saw us transporting horses because you weren't allowed.
Gosh, no, I did the same with my dog. I filled my boot full of shopping and went to collect because before we went into lockdown, we'd put a deposit on this puppy, and then we went into lockdown. So I filled my boot up with shopping because it was near my in-laws' house. And I thought if I get caught, I'll say I'm going to drop this shopping off. But then I had this little well, it was like a rabbit carrier because she was so small. And then I like snuck to this house and gave them cash for this dog. And then when I got her out to the car, I wiped her with antibacterial wipes.
Yeah, to be fair, I think I wiped the lead rope with anti-bac wipes.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
that's
honestly.
so funny.
Yeah, it's like we're worried about germs, but we're more worried about animals.
Yeah, we've got to bring the animals home. That's way more
And
important.
that's the end of it.
That's so funny.
I love it. Oh, bless
Oh,
her. Then you took her to the yard, and did she
yeah.
settle?
Yeah, well, settling for Rubes was an interesting one. She was an absolute firecracker, and to
Oh my
ride she was a
gosh.
firecracker. But she was like safe. She was safe as houses. Like I trusted
Mm,
her with my life. She
yeah.
was just she just didn't have. I think she had all the screws. They just weren't necessarily in the right place. Like she was just a bit. But she was
Oh,
fab. And I remember I was walking her up. I'd brought her home, and I think the day after I took her out for a walk in hand, and someone from the yard drove past, and they were like, "Oh, I didn't realise you were buying a youngster." I was like, "I haven't. She's 13." She was brilliant. But you know what, that mare took me to everything. She was amazing, and I had her
oh,
for nearly 4 years. And unfortunately, I just after I had my son, um, I had a summer of fun with her after I had my son, and she
yeah.
unfortunately got diagnosed with navicular syndrome, and
Oh,
she went devastatingly lame. And she wasn't the kind of mare you could retire.
no.
She had 3 weeks off between being diagnosed, and this mare was lame on 3 legs,
Yeah,
and I had to put her up for the vet, and
yeah,
like to the point of being dangerous in hand because she hadn't done anything. And I still
yeah,
maintain to this day, the day I made the decision for her to go to sleep,
yeah,
the vet came and I groomed her to make her beautiful because
yeah,
she was beautiful. And
yeah.
if I'd got my tack out and tacked her up, she still would have bounced up the lane.
Oh
She
my
still would have gone.
gosh.
She was amazing.
Bless her.
Yeah. And so I
Oh,
lost her in January 2024, and then I went on a whole kind of a journey. I had an ex-racehorse that hospitalized me that didn't work out.
yeah.
Um, and then I got Bailey, who is just
Oh,
oh, honestly, that he is wonderful. So he's actually on full loan to me.
is he?
I was giving up horses actually. I wasn't doing it anymore
Right.
after Zoe the racer. And my friend came down and we had a coffee and I said, like, I'm giving up. I'm like, I don't want to do it
Mm,
anymore. I'm not
yeah.
enjoying it. And she went, I know what you need. I was like, what do you mean you know what I need? And she showed me a picture of Bailey. And I was like, well, I don't want a cob and I don't want a gelding. Like I'm a thoroughbred mare girl. Like, no.
Mm,
And she went, just come and see him. And I went up to view him, and I was a wreck. I was an absolute bag of nerves from having this ex-racer for a year she just
yeah.
destroyed me,
Oh, you
unfortunately.
poor thing.
It was, had I been 10 years younger, I would have been fine.
Yeah.
But
Do,
26-year-old me with a child, I
yeah,
just
I was going to
couldn't.
say, do you think that like just sometimes it's like the point in your life that you're at,
Yeah.
and then once you've got children and other responsibilities and like mortgage and things like that,
Yeah,
you kind of see the dangers a lot more, don't you? It's just, yeah,
100%.
I think it's
I
harder.
definitely when she decked me for the final time and I lay
Mm,
in the middle of the school, and my husband had to come and pick her up with the trailer, and he brought my son, and my son was like, pick me up, mummy, and I couldn't because I was broken. And I
mm,
remember being like, why am I doing this?
yeah, yeah. If I
what
can't pick up
what
my
is the point?
son, yeah,
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 what am I doing? What's the point? I don't
yeah.
get paid to do this. It's not, I
No,
do this for fun. Why am I lying on the
yeah,
floor broken? I
yeah,
do think it's harder after you've had children. You're
yeah,
definitely, even if, like you say, even if you don't have children and you've got all these responsibilities, there's definitely something in the back of your mind that goes, if I really break myself,
yeah.
what happens next? Like,
Yeah.
who's gonna
Yeah.
pick up the pieces? Who's gonna hold me together? Who's gonna pay my mortgage? Who's gonna, you know?
Exactly. And even for the people like who do get paid to do it, I always think, wow, like what if they get hurt by a horse, like a
Mm.
livery yard owner or someone like that? What if they get hurt by a horse and then like, they've got their own living and other people relying on them for their horses as well. It's such a difficult thing as you get older.
Yeah, it is. You end up with, it's not just me. It's not just me anymore.
No,
And that's the
no.
thing that I always have in the back of my head. It's like, yeah, this is fun, but if it goes wrong, it's not just me.
Yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%.
Mhm.
It can be really hard, can't it? And
Yeah.
our horse Toby is also on loan to us,
Oh.
and he's an absolute legend now. But when we
Oh
first got him, not so much. And
no.
he like we've just kind of settled now. We're at like a really nice yard. He's really happy. We're really happy. Like I think it's a whole thing. Like
Yeah.
I really do. But yeah, when we first got him, like his behavior, and I was like putting my kids on it because obviously they were desperate to ride and they don't care. They
No, they
like
really don't care.
they don't care at all. And they're fine. But then I was having to get on to kind of um settle him before they got on. And I was just thinking, okay, so what if I get seriously hurt now? And then they're just left here. Have I taught them how to phone 999? Like,
Yeah,
I
no,
was
it's a
just thinking,
real thing.
oh gosh, I don't know what like, and getting him was an absolute dream come true because like I came out of horses like well, probably now, like 17 or 18 years ago. And then like having two daughters that then like started to get into it and then me saying to my husband, oh well, instead of all these riding lessons they'll learn a lot more on their own pony. um
Like that. I'm gonna borrow that one.
yeah, exactly, and just kind of like chipping away and
Yeah.
then like having this moment of like when we went to see him, we went to see him and Olive, my eldest, she like tried him out and everything. And I said to her that we were just going to see this pony, that this lady was going off to university, which is true. And she needed someone to just maybe ride him once a week. And because I left it at that, because I thought if he's not suitable and then like I say that we might have loaned him, then she'll be sad. So I kind of fibbed. And
I'm
then
learning lots of tips here that I'm gonna remember.
yeah, that's it. You remember these for the
Good
future.
idea.
And then
Yeah.
the morning that he was actually coming, because I was a bit like, oh gosh, is this actually happening? This is like I kind of was taking ages to process it myself.
Mm.
Um and then the morning that he's actually coming, I went into her room and she said, and she was like, all right. And she's a real doer, Olive. And she was like, what are we doing today? And I said, oh, I thought we like might go to the saddlery. And she was like, why? And I said, because she's going to need some equipment. And she was like, what equipment? And I said, well, do you fancy getting a pony today? And she was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, we went and we bought all the forks and the, all matching buckets and everything. And then
Oh,
went to the yard and waited for him to arrive. And it was just like, laying the bed and everything. It's nothing like a fresh bed, is there?
oh, it's incredible. I think getting your stable ready for a new horse is up there with bringing your new baby home from the hospital.
Isn't it
Like
just?
similar,
It's
very, very, very similar excitement.
so good. So good. Except that night you get more sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure I did.
Oh, so was what like when you got Bailey, was he just like really settled straight away
Yeah.
or oh what a
He
legend. He's
he
such a
was a total
handsome boy.
legend. Oh, he's honestly, I pinch myself all the time that I get to have him because he's so beautiful. He's just,
Oh,
yeah, I call him my cappuccino pony. He's just,
yeah,
or my caramel boy. I quite often refer
yeah.
to him, but he came home the first night and he was a little bit on edge. And then I've got a 28-year-old Shetland pony called Munch, and the
Love,
pair of them are just, he's a hella, Munch is. He's an absolute nightmare.
love
Um,
it.
but he's lush.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bailey settled really well, and yeah, we've just gone on. every time I do anything with him, I can't believe how awesome he is.
That's
And
amazing.
he's not the easiest in some ways. Like out hacking, he's got a fun habit of if he doesn't like where he's going, he'll stop and he'll reverse, and you have to spin him in a couple of circles, and then he'll carry on. Like
Oh dear.
he's like quirky in different
Yeah,
ways.
yeah,
Um, and but he kind of plonked into my life, and now I can't, like, I wouldn't be without him. He's
that
such a
is so
dude.
cool.
Yeah, we go off and do all sort. Well, within 3 weeks of having him, I found out I was pregnant with Mabel, and
My
I was like,
gosh.
I've just got this amazing horse,
Mm,
and now I'm pregnant and I don't know what to do. And my husband was like, look, he's really, really good. Just ride him until you don't feel like you can.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, all right. So I ended up, we did a 1 day event while I was pregnant. We did arena cross country. We did dressage. We did combined training right up until it was the end of August. I took him out for a hack. And then the following day, I was going to go and school him. And I thought, I'm just going to hop on the scales here and just make sure. And I'd kind of tipped over the point that I'd set for myself
Yeah.
of being too heavy for him. And so that
Yeah.
was when I went, right. I think I was about 24 weeks. And I said, I can't,
Yeah.
this isn't fair now for him to carry
No.
me. But he was just a dude. Like he's so cool. He's
Oh,
so cool.
that's amazing. It's so, so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you get that bond and like, once you actually like get them as well, like with the hacking, okay,
Yeah.
he's not doing anything vile. He's just like, I need to do this. And then he'll walk on and be like, oh, actually, she's going to make me go the way I don't want to go. All right, then,
He's so,
so
or he's like,
nice.
if you stop to talk to somebody in a car every time, and I feel so, because he's a bit of a celebrity in the local area, because he's a funky colour,
Yeah.
people recognise him. So
Yeah.
lots of people, and we became a bit, not famous, but we became a bit well known in the area, because when I'd had Mabel, to get us both fit and for me to lose enough weight to ride again, I walked him for miles in hand like a big dog, miles and miles and
Oh,
miles, because he wasn't strong enough to carry. He'd lost all his muscle because he was
yeah.
basically a potato for 6 months,
Yeah.
and I was too heavy. So we walked miles. So now people know us quite well. So they'll stop, they'll pull up alongside us to chat in the car, and then Bailey's like, "Well, my working day is done here." So then if you try and walk him on, he's like, "Well, I'm going home." Like, no, come on, buddy. And you spin him in a circle 2 or 3
Yeah.
times, and then he's like, fine. And you can feel him in his body. He'll just go, and then he'll walk on, and then he's fine for the rest of the hack. He's
Love
really fun.
that.
I would describe him as, he's a bit like an annoying husband, and he's
Yeah.
like that kind of in general with things. Like some
Yeah.
days he's just one of his back legs. He's like, I'm just not going to pick this up today. I'm just going to lean on you instead. And you're like,
Yes. Yeah.
that's kind of annoying. Like you're not doing
Please
anything
don't.
naughty, but you just come on, man.
Yeah.
There's things like that. Or you'll be trying to fill up a hay net and he's throwing it around, or just
Yeah.
typical boy behavior. But he's anyone. He just loves everybody, and I take him out all the time. My mum is petrified, but she'll
My
come with
gosh.
me with Mabel, and he's such a dream to take out anywhere as well,
Oh,
that you
bless
can just
him.
go and have a nice time.
That's so lovely. That's
Yeah.
so lovely. My our boy really hates small circles. So before his owner that we loan him off now had him, he was a trekking pony in Ireland. And yeah, and so like schooling is a little bit of a shocker, and he doesn't particularly, he will do it, but he every now and then when he doesn't want to, or when we've been hacking a lot and then taking back in the school, he'll protest. But he protests the hardest with me, and then the second hardest with Olive. And then if like my youngest Edie gets on, or my nieces, no protest. He just goes round like a little
Oh,
dream. He's such a lovely boy. He's got such a nice temperament. But yeah, he's just he hates little circles. And we've just got a trailer, and he's been last year when we took him out and we took him in someone else's trailer. He didn't want to go in the first place, and then we got him onto the trailer with a horse licks,
oh
bribing him
yeah.
on with a lick, and then to get him home, he just point blank refused, and it took hours. And you
Oh
know what it's like
no.
when you're at a show and then people come to help.
Yeah,
Oh, it was really
Ruby was an
stressful.
awful loader, absolutely horrendous. And I ended up teaching her. I was looking one day at the cattle trailer and I was like, why are we able to load our feral young stock so easily
Yeah,
onto a cattle trailer, but I can't get the horse on? And
yeah,
the cattle trailer's got gates down the ramp.
yeah.
So
Hmm.
it like funnels them in. So with Rubes, I had two big traffic cones that I stole on a young farmer's night out. Um, two big traffic cones that I'd put on the end of the ramp, and then I'd use lunge lines that I clipped to the side, and
Yeah,
that funneled her in. And I
yeah.
remember the first time doing it, she walked straight on, and then I could see her in the trailer. She was like, "You've bamboozled me! Like, what did you do?" And from then on, as there was a couple of times she'd put her front feet on the ramp if you were trying to load her without. She'd put her front feet on the ramp. She'd shout. She'd rear bolt upright, try and flip herself over, and then run away.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
Yeah. So, but the funneling thing, for whatever reason, seemed to make her slightly screw loose brain tick.
Yeah,
And so she would go on, but she still had to put her front feet on, look around, shout to her friends, and then she'd just go, yeah, all right, and walk in. So,
that's so funny.
but
And it's just finding what fits, isn't it? And
yeah.
I like researched so many different ways. And
Oh,
then I saw this guy on YouTube basically like his horse wouldn't go on, and then he was saying like if you make the outside of the trailer kind of harder work than the inside, and I thought
yeah.
Toby doesn't like hard work. Let's try that. So then with his halter on, I've been kind of like almost lunging him, but really in walk, like
Yeah.
outside the ramp of the trailer. And then when he gets his front feet on, I say to him, "Good boy," and then I stroke his neck, and then I just stand to the side and I say, he's really funny because he doesn't know what I'm saying, but I say, "It's okay, you're safe, in you go," and then he just walks in, like I just send him in,
Where they
and I
know,
was like,
though.
this like we fixed this problem that I've been stressing about for about 6 months in
Yeah.
like half an hour just by like getting something that fits with him. Like, oh,
Mm.
that's hard work doing the circles. Oh, mummy's being nice. Oh, all right, then I'll go in. It's just
Yeah. And it is
so
about, I
funny.
always said with Rubes, you had to make her think it was her idea. And if she thought
Yes,
it was her
yes,
idea,
yeah,
winner. And Bailey's
yeah,
exactly the same. If it's on his terms and he thinks it's his idea,
yeah,
apart from
definitely.
loading, every single time I load him, when he walks on, I'm like, I can't believe you've just done that. Because he does. And I've wanged him on from some ridiculous angles because I'm dreadful
Yeah,
at parking the trailer. And
yeah.
it's like, yeah, right. And he just walks on.
Oh, what an absolute
You
legend.
don't realise
But
how awesome you are.
no, no. And it's like you saying about like sometimes he's a bit like an annoying husband. Toby can be like that as well because if I do equine Reiki as well. So
Oh
like
yeah.
it's all like about like regulating your energy and things like that. And like horses are really in tune, aren't they, with like our
Mm.
energy and kind of how we're feeling. And but if I get even slightly agitated or annoyed, Toby's just like, no,
Yeah,
we
Bailey's the
don't do
same.
this here. Like we are chill or we are not doing it. I'm just like, okay then. I'm sorry. I
Sorry,
need
let
to
me go and
practice
sort
what I
myself out.
preach.
But Bailey's the same. If I'm upset, he's
Yeah.
there and he'll be
Yeah.
there. If
Yeah.
I'm cross, he's like, I want nothing to do with you. Like,
100%.
absolutely not. Are you getting near me? And it's
Yeah.
funny how much they pick up on that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the mares would just get stressed about, like, Ruby would get stressed about it. If I was
Yes.
stressed, he was
Yeah.
stressed, and that was all there was. Whereas
Yeah.
Bailey's like, I
Yeah.
don't know. I think sometimes if his hoof had a middle finger, he would stick it up if I was cross. Like, just, like, don't come near me.
I know sometimes it's so good that they can't speak.
Oh my God, I dread to think what Bailey would say.
But it's like if I was like talking to my sister and like moaning about something, me and her would really like get all cross about it. Oh my God, I can't believe they did that. And and then if I like spoke to my husband about it, he'd just be
What are you worrying
like,
about?
why are you getting stressed? Have a beer. And I'd be like,
And
oh,
that's why
okay then.
sometimes I think having a gelding, as maybe I would describe myself as a slightly stressier human being,
Mm.
having a gelding sometimes is very good in that way because I do find they're just the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They're just really level.
Yeah.
Whereas, like you say, the similar as you are with your sister. If I was uppity, Ruby was uppity, and then we'd
Yes.
both be this uppity mess.
Yes,
Whereas
exactly.
Bailey's like, what is wrong with you?
Exactly. I know. They just kind of like seem to hold up a mirror sometimes, don't they?
Yeah,
Look
they
at
do.
you. Calm
Like,
down.
have you seen what you're doing?
Yeah, but I'm still not going to turn the circle and look in
No.
the same direction.
Oh, you want me on the bit? That's hilarious.
Absolutely not. Not when you're in that mood.
No, I think not.
Oh dear. I suppose we better talk about something confidence related at some point, but maybe. But so like the reason that I asked you to come on here was that I saw your Instagram post and you said it went absolutely berserk about your
What is
warm-up ring moment. So can you
it?
like just kind of like talk us through it a little bit and like what you were doing and how it felt?
Yeah, so it's the first time I have ever done an affiliated competition. So I have joined a team. We're called the Pink Pony Pards, which if you're not Cornish,
Love
Pards
it.
means friends.
Yeah.
And we were doing Team Quest. And I hadn't really thought much about it. I'd learnt my test, I was feeling all right, and we went to the show. And like I said, I've never done an affiliated competition before. I've never affiliated with BD or anyone like that.
Mm,
And we went into the warm-up ring and I was on Bailey, who is a 15-hand coloured cob. He's
yeah.
hogged, so he's quite smart, but yeah, he is a very, if you think what a cob looks and acts like, there's Bailey. Um, and I went into this warm-up ring and there were 6 really, really flashy horses.
Yeah.
And I was only doing the intro. And I walked in and you know when you can physically feel yourself shrink?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like everything in my body just went, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Like, and even completely irrationally, because I'm sure in my head no one was looking at me. But in my head, when I was in there with 6 bay, flashy, warm bloody, like blood
Yeah.
type horses,
Yeah.
and I was there on essentially my pony club pony,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't belong here. I'm not good enough. What am I even doing here? Everyone can tell
Yeah.
I stick out a mile. And I just went completely in on myself and I couldn't ride.
It's
I just couldn't.
horrible, isn't it?
I totally forgot how to ride, which then even more so, my brain was like, well, everyone knows you look like a numpty. Like you're riding
Yeah.
like a numpty. Everyone's going to think you're a numpty. And I
Yeah.
just completely, I don't know, I went really self-destructive, really
Yeah.
self-destructive. And I didn't ride him. I didn't work him in. I just kind of
No.
trotted aimlessly around with him going like a llama because I was riding defensively with my hands
Yeah.
because I was like, I've got to make him look pretty. And if you try and make Bailey look pretty, he's like, I'm not doing that. So
Yes.
yeah, it all fell apart. And no matter how much I told myself no one was looking, no one thought that, I was like, well, I'm the only one here on a cob. I'm the only one here on a coloured. I'm the only one here with my horse not on the bit. I'm the only one here that I'm riding in a tweed jacket. Everyone else has this bling, and they all look like proper,
Yeah.
proper posh dresser, and they all were beautiful, and the riders were amazing. And I was like, I just shouldn't be here. And yeah, I just completely fell apart. And I came home and created this post about it, and it went mental. And I think it's because a lot more people feel like that than admit it.
Yes. Yeah.
And I had so many messages saying similar that they felt like that. And I basically wanted some advice on how to stop that self-destructive spiral from happening, because
Yeah.
I don't want to go into a warm-up and ride rubbish and annoy my horse and let him down. Like I
No.
wanted to go in and set us up for success, but I find that really hard when my brain goes, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really, really difficult, isn't it? It's just it's such a hard thing. And I think that is something that pretty much everyone that goes into a warm-up suffers from. And
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what level you're at. It doesn't matter if that was your first or your fifth, like BD, like warm up that like show that you've been to. It just like I don't know that feeling like ever really subsides for some people, you know, unless you are up there on like the flashiest, the most amazing. But equally, I think you still kind of go, oh no, everyone's looking at me now because you're on the flashiest horse.
Yeah, I
And
know
then
what
you
you
really
mean.
don't want to F it up because you're just like, oh, I've got this absolute superstar. And now if I'm just like riding wrong, then I'm really going to look bad. It's such a difficult thing, isn't it? And I think it's just so nice that you spoke about it and then people reacted because, like, I just think that in that moment when you're in that arena, you're on your own, aren't you?
Completely. Yeah, you think you are the only person feeling like that, and it's just you and your horse. And in some ways, it just being you and your horse is wonderful. But in other ways, when you're already in the self-destructive spiral,
Yeah.
it's really hard to get yourself. And I was there with my non-horsey mum, who was just like, "No, you look all right." I said,
Yeah. And you're
"It's
like, you're
not
just saying
helpful.
that because you're my mum.
Yeah, you have to say that." And
Exactly.
yeah, and
Oh, dear.
it's. I think it's trying to how you catch that, how you catch that spiral before it happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we're not, none of us are very good at blowing smoke up our own chimneys, are we? Do you know what I mean?
No, no,
I'd find
no,
it
we're
so
not.
hard to go into an arena and be like, I am the fittest one here, check me out. And
Yeah.
I think it's not
Yeah.
in very many of our natures to do that.
No, no. And um like I went to the show last year where Toby decided he wasn't coming home. um I went into the warm up um riding for it was his first showing show that we're taking him to, and I went into the warm up to warm him up for my eldest daughter because it was his first ever show and I just didn't know what he was going to do. um
Yeah.
so kind of like tensions were high before I even got him into that warm-up arena because I didn't actually know, like, that I didn't have kind of like the knowledge of like, oh, he's going to be like this when he gets in there and all of that. And obviously I wasn't in any kind of show gear. I was just like dressed normally. A complete scruff in brackets.
That's me normally.
And yeah, I have actually bought a new one now, but still wearing my riding hat from before I gave up horses like years ago. And and you just think it was pretty much like I might as well put an eggshell on my head. Just like I have bought another one now. But and you just think, what am I doing? I've bought all my
I wish
kids
we
all
could,
this safety equipment.
I wish we could insert a picture of the hat like here.
No,
Like, this is it.
no, honestly, it's just like there's no padding left on the inside. It's just like a shell of a hat just jiggling around in my head. And then so yeah, I went in there and there was this woman in there on this most beautiful horse, and I was just pony actually, and I could see her daughter in show gear at the side of the arena, and I thought she's doing the same thing. She's warming this pony up for her daughter before, like, throwing her daughter on. So, and
Yeah.
I thought, oh, that's a really nice thing to do. And this thing was flashy. It was gorgeous. And then I had to keep doing lots and lots of shapes to keep Toby's mind on me and him rather than everything that was going on around the outside. So that's a bit annoying in a warm up because people are just trying to kind of get round each other, and there's me with like all sorts of size circles and serpentines. And then in the end I stopped and I said to this woman, I'm so sorry, like I know I keep getting in everybody's way, but I'm just trying to keep his mind on me and all that. And I said, your horse is absolutely stunning. I said, I've been watching you and he's absolutely beautiful. And then she was like, oh my God, thank you for saying that. This is our first show and I'm terrified and I'm just warming him up for my daughter. But she was on the flashy horse.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, like, I can't believe you're feeling like that. Like I was on Toby who was going around like this, and like,
Yeah.
and and this horse was just sailing round and just looking like it was floating across the arena, and she looked wonderful. And I said, are you really nervous? And she was like, yeah, I am, I'm terrified. And I said, I cannot believe you're nervous. You're riding beautifully and
Yeah.
your horse just looks fabulous, and what a nice thing you're doing, like warming up for your daughter as well. And then we had a bit of a laugh about it and like walked the horses around together for a bit. But it's really funny that she was on the super duper horse and she was feeling the same as well. And she
Yeah.
couldn't see that she was on the super duper horse at all.
No.
Um, and then just a side note from your feeling like there were all these warm bloody types. I know a British dressage judge, and she said her most favourite thing over the last few years has been the introduction of so many different breeds of horses.
Yeah.
And she said it is so nice to watch. She said there are some absolute crackers coming through that aren't just watching the same, watching the same, watching the same. She said it's just magical and
Yeah.
gives the judges something else to look at and look for, because their strides are different and they do move in different ways. But yeah, she said like she just loves seeing horses like your gorgeous Bailey like coming in and coming through. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Funny enough, somebody messaged me about that and said that they'd done a lot of writing for lots of judges over the years, and that she said there was two. I think there was two separate people that messaged me, and one said that a judge had told her people riding coloured horses rather than bays quite often end up having being more harshly marked because they're different or they look different.
wow,
And
right,
also, yeah, so that was quite interesting. And then I had another lady message to say that the judging has changed in such a way now that judges are looking more for, rather than beautiful movements, as we see up high like the high levels, and if you've got a
yeah,
naturally good moving horse, they are naturally going to get higher marks. But
yeah,
they're also looking for, I can't remember how she described it. It was along the lines of like happy partnerships, like
yeah,
partnerships that look like they're having a good time.
yeah,
Um, and I thought that was really lovely. I thought that was, and that makes me feel better that if I go in and we look like we're having a good time, that maybe
yeah,
even
yeah,
if we, I'm not sure we'll ever achieve medium trot, but if we look happy trying, maybe
yeah.
we'll get.
Exactly, exactly. But it's just, I just totally understand like where you were coming from with your post, and like it's just so nice that when you put it out there, so many people were able to go, "That's me," because I
Yeah.
think as long as people know that it's not just them feeling like it, um, it just helps, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah, and that's what I try to do with my Instagram all the time with everything is I probably overshare because it's cheaper than therapy to talk on Instagram stories. But
100%.
like but I do try it because I have felt alone. I've had a lot of struggles like mentally postpartum and things like that. And so I
Mm,
talk about all of that because in points I felt so alone. And also I'm on a solo use yard by myself. A solo
right.
use yard by myself. Ha. But I'm on a solo
Yeah.
use yard. So it's only me. And my husband
Yeah.
isn't horsey, he's a farmer.
Yeah.
And my parents aren't horsey, so I don't really have anyone other than Instagram.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't have anyone to go home and debrief to. So I do
No.
it through Instagram, but also to then show to people that I mean, I really wasn't expecting the response that I had from that post at all.
No.
But I think that just shows how common it is, and how
Mm,
even if we think that everyone else in the arena is super confident and thinks they're an amazing rider, and even though they were, but you know what I
yeah.
mean, it's probably highly unlikely that any of them are riding around that arena going, I'm the best.
No. No. They're 100% they're not. And like I tried to say to my kids, like, so my youngest is still at primary school and they often do like so the latest issue she had was at Christmas, they had a carol concert and it was their whole year group, so 90 kids, so like 90 parents at least. Um
Yeah.
And she was really worried because she said, "Oh, there'd be all those people there looking at me." And I said, "No, no, it's only me looking at you and Daddy and Granny and Grandpa came." So I said, "There'll be four people looking at you, but you run around naked in front of us, singing and dancing and going berserk." I said, "So you don't need to worry about us." I said, "But none of the other parents are there for you. I'm sorry. They're there for their kids, not
Yeah,
you." And I said, "So
exactly.
like people are selfish and like so they should be, and it's quite good that they are because that although they might think for a moment, oh, notice something about you or about Bailey or something like that, they're not going home thinking about that night. They're going
No.
home thinking about their test. And if they are in that warm up thinking about you for longer than the moment you walk in, or just not bashing into you, then they're not going to have a very good test anyway.
No,
you know?
that's true. And yeah, funny enough, somebody, again, I can't remember who that was that said it. I don't think it was my mum. She wouldn't have thought about that. But anyway, somebody said if somebody has looked past the end of their horse's ears for long enough to judge you, then they
Mm,
won't have had a good time. And I was like,
no,
that's so true, because all I ever do is concentrate on Bailey's
yeah.
ears.
Yeah.
and like say not crashing into somebody and not being a pain in the bum.
Yeah.
Um, and it's true, like but I can't seem to get my brain past that. Like
Yes.
rationally, I know that they're just going to be concentrating on their own warm up, but I just have the chimp being like,
Yeah. Yeah. It's in the background, isn't it? Just
"I
nagging
can't
away.
happen."
Nagging
Yeah,
away. Yeah, it's really hard. And like sometimes like a routine can really like help you get past that
yeah,
because you don't get too much time to then think about it for too long. So
yeah,
like obviously the first time you do something is always the hardest, isn't it? It's because you didn't
yeah.
know what to expect. You like
And also, it went way better than I came out of the test. I looked at mum and I went, "That was the worst I've ever ridden. That was an awful test." And we came out of it, and one of my team members came up to me and she was like, "You're in second." I was like, "No, I'm not. Like, there is no way on this earth we are second. Like, I rode dreadfully." And she was like, "No, look at the scoreboard." And I brought it up on my phone and I burst into tears because I was like, "There is
oh
no
my
way
gosh.
that was our test. There's no way on this earth." And mum showed me the video and she was like, "I don't know why you think it was terrible. And I
No.
was like, but that's our perception, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
probably go on
definitely.
Saturday, think that was the best test I've ever ridden and come last."
I know, right?
That goes the
But
way with dressage.
I think
But
I
yeah,
think having someone's video you really helps as well because it feels like such a muddle sometimes, doesn't it? And then when you look at it, you're like, oh, actually, you feel like you're just like plodding
honestly,
around.
I thought I was flapping around. I thought his head up was
Yeah,
in the air like a llama. I thought
yeah.
my heels were back on his bum. At one point, he tried to. So we've been doing loads of polls to get his strength up, and he's never been inside proper whiteboards before. So we got inside
Mm.
the whiteboard, and he was like, "Chop poles." Like, no, 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 no. We came around the corner, and he was like, "I'm just going to try over this." So we very, very nearly exited the arena. And I said to Mum, "He put both his front feet out. We were way out. They're going to disqualify us." And she was like, "Look at the
Yeah.
video. You just kicked it. Like, you didn't even touch it." So it's amazing how much your brain tells you, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And do you know what? Your brain was telling you all that stuff because you'd had that horrible time in the warm-up arena. Like
And now you say that, that makes so much sense.
because you were basically on a spiral by then. And sorry, not to laugh at your spiral, but
No, no, no.
I'm
I have to laugh
laughing
at the
because
spiral.
I've been in the spiral and
Yeah.
the spiral's crap. It's a
At this
horrible
point, the
feeling.
spiral was like a full-on tornado, I think.
Yeah, 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 exactly. And once you're in the spiral, it is so, so hard to like grab hold of something and drag yourself out. It is
Yeah.
really, really difficult. And I think like that's when like in an ideal world, so I'm going to say something that I've literally never done in my life, but this is such best practice, is if you're planning to go to a certain show, go to the previous show. Like if you've got something in like the diary of like, oh, I'm going to go to, so there's somewhere around here called Beechwood Equestrian Centre. I'm going to go to Beechwood Equestrian Centre's evening show jumping next, like on 3 Wednesdays' time. Well, the Wednesday before that, essentially, I should go, just me, to the one before that and watch
Ah, okay.
because I would know what to expect.
Yeah.
And I don't, but you should. I
Yeah.
and do you know what? I probably will start doing that more now that I've got to start taking a trailer
Well, so funny you
because
should say that. I quite often have to drive, if I've never been to a venue before, I'll
mm,
drive there first without the
yeah,
trailer to
yeah,
then, yeah,
that
to then
yeah.
tow.
So that is probably now my biggest like now I've got over all my fears with Toby. That is now my new fear. Is like we're looking like a plonker with the trailer. Um,
Oh,
so I probably will start doing that now, like just
mm,
because of like the car parking. But yeah, if there's an opportunity to then go to a show beforehand, like it's such a good thing to be able to set yourself up and go, oh, I know what to expect. There's like this here, this there, there's a tannoy there, they park over there. Like it's really, really good to be able to set it up in your mind.
yeah, I
And
really
then
like that.
and then it also gives you a really, really good chance of, and I've always done this. I think I was just a weird kid. I've always visualized my shows. I think it's because
Yeah,
I've got a horrible memory. I've got an absolute diabolical memory. So I've always visualized my shows. But um, So visualization, like your brain doesn't really know that it's not real, that that's not happened. So if you can visualize yourself like walking from the lorry park to the warm up, going around the warm up really smoothly, then coming from the warm up to your area where you do your test or your show jumping or whatever, like your brain thinks you've done that before.
Okay.
So if you can visualize it and feel it deeply enough, I always do it like when I'm going to sleep because it stops me thinking about like other existential crises.
Who's gonna look after me when I hit the deck again?
Yeah, exactly. So like if I just think about nice things like a horse
Yeah.
show, then I kind of do it as I'm going to sleep. So then like your brain thinks you've like done that before. And then
Mhm.
also like just just being in the knowledge of like everyone else is got their own issues here. And
Yeah.
then and they're dealing with their own thing and kind of being like um I kind of always go there with an attitude of like trying to be the one that's nice to other people, and that's really hard
Yeah.
sometimes, but like my kids just are really embarrassed by me all the time because I'll just strike up conversations with like randoms.
Are you
But
the kind of person that attracts people? Like, have you got the approachable face where you just make friends, right? Yeah, me too.
yeah, 100%. And
My
my
friends are
mum,
laughing
or
at
my
Babington for
poor
me for
mum,
that.
my mum will be in Tesco's and someone will tell her like they've got cancer or something. Like she gets people all the time, like just come to her like, ah, and I'm like, my God, you were just in the queue for the like for the pharmacy.
Do you know them? No.
Yeah, no,
Ooh.
and but yeah, it's yeah. So just knowing that and like setting yourself up a routine when you get to a show. And then, like, so if you, again, if you've been to that show before or you visited it and you know exactly what's going to go on, if you kind of set yourself up this routine and set yourself up a routine in the warm up,
Yeah.
you've got a job
And I
instead
guess
of,
then would you then visualize yourself doing that routine,
yes,
like when
yeah,
you're going to sleep, so that then you
yeah,
visualize the routine, go, okay, yeah, I
yeah.
really like that.
Because then if you've got that routine and you've got it locked in, because it's a bit difficult, like you kind of need the routine to become second nature because otherwise you've got to keep
Mm.
looking on your phone. What do I do now? Put a phone back in my pocket. And then
Yeah.
but if you can get that routine kind of locked in your mind and just kind of go into that warm up and go, right, okay, we're going to walk around twice on the left, we're going to change the rain, walk around twice on the right, we're
Sorry,
going to
what's
do
that?
we're going to do like circles here, this, that, like, you know, things that just help your horse in general. Um, then like you've kind of got more of a job and it kind of stops you being able to like your brain can't concentrate on two things at once. So
Yeah.
if you talk yourself through that routine and if you're in your head, like kind of chatting to yourself, then it's really, really difficult for your brain to keep going. But that warm blood looks really nice. But that warm blood looks really nice. You know,
Yeah.
you kind of
Yeah.
you're having to concentrate on yourself. So yeah, that's just like it's a really good way of kind of setting yourself up before you go and kind of
Okay.
knowing like catching yourself before you get into that moment, because when you get into that moment it's really difficult to claw yourself out. It's just so
Ah.
hard because like your nervous systems become dysregulated, and you know, there are breathing exercises that you can do to kind of calm yourself down, but really you need to take yourself out of that situation to do that, and there's not always time.
No.
you
And
you
I think that was part of my issue the other weekend was that we were running late anyway, and I
yeah,
had I had about 10 minutes to warm up.
yeah,
And Bailey is quite nappy. He's only ever really hunted, so he's
yeah,
very clean to other horses. So to get
yeah,
him to work individually with lots of horse, if on his own, golden. With other
yeah,
horses working around him, he's quite nappy, he goes a bit dead to the left. And I just kind of, I think I was rushing. I was like, I'm not even gonna, you almost shut down, don't you? I'm like, why am I
yeah,
even bothering?
yeah, definitely. And when it's not going the way that you've decided it's going to go, like well, that you're hoping it's going to go, um, you just like every little step it feels disheartening. And then when
Yeah.
you're seeing people having like what you assume is the time of their life, you know,
Mm.
you it's so upsetting. It's so hard. But yeah, it's yeah, I think preparation is definitely the key to kind of keeping your cool like in that moment and keeping yourself like really regulated. And I do breathing exercises like when I mount all the way to like a all the way to the warm up arena, and while I'm walking, just doing like breathing. Just the most simple one is say breathing in for 4, breathing out for 6,
Yeah.
or breathing in for 6. As long as the out breath is longer than the in breath,
Yeah.
then that's a good, like, because you haven't got to remember much else. Then that's just a real easy,
Yeah.
simple one. And then that just kind of keeps everything like down, keeps
Yeah.
everything calm, and the horse as well,
Yeah.
because it's not fair on them when we get all like silly, is
No, and
it?
I think interestingly, whereas Ruby would match me,
Yeah.
Bailey almost goes the opposite. So
Mm,
if I'm really hyped, or not really hyped, but like really, if I'm stressed, if I'm uppity or anything like that, he almost shuts down.
yeah. Yeah.
And that's really hard then, because I feel like I'm like, oh, I've really annoyed you here. Um, and also not great if you're going into a dressage test and they're shut
No.
down.
No.
Um, and that's what but then I find it hard then to be like, oh, I've let him down, so let's just not bother.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's really like, it's like this, it's the self-destructiveness, I think, where I'm like,
Yeah.
well, why am I even trying? Um,
Yeah.
Even though I always have the mantra of I'm going to give it a go anyway, because I'm just so delighted to be there in the first place,
Yeah.
coming from my
Yeah.
background of, not having horses my whole life, and
Yeah.
I'm still quite novice really in comparison to a lot of people. Um, yeah,
Yes,
that
am
then
I.
I'm just grateful to be there a
I
lot of the
know,
time.
it's
So
so magical, isn't it? We're so lucky, aren't we?
anytime I pull up and I'm like, I'm towing my horse in my own trailer. I was like, and we're not. It's none of it is the flashiest thing in the world,
No.
It's our farm truck that I'm towing my trailer that's older than me. It's a 1997 trailer. It's older than
Yeah.
me, but I'm like, I'm doing it. Look at me. This is me and my pony, and I'm off,
Yeah.
and it's so lovely. And yeah, that's what I need to hold on to. I think is just
Yeah.
how lucky I am to be there in the first place doing it, and that
Yeah.
anything else is
It's
a
so
bonus,
cool, isn't
really.
it? It's such a lovely, lovely thing to do. And like I just always say to people, it's meant to be fun, and like that's what we've kind of got to
Yeah.
hold on to, isn't it?
Mm.
That
And if
we've
it's
got to have
not
a good time.
fun,
And
yeah,
what
if it's
was
not fun, you need to change it to be fun.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And also like you said earlier about, oh, I'm not getting paid to do this. I always think, well, then I'll do what I want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Toby's not good at hacking alone. One, I don't want my kids to hack alone anyway. Um,
Yeah.
and he's not good at hacking alone. And I could work on that. I don't want to. I
It's
don't, I
not.
don't, I don't want to like work on it. I haven't got time. And
No.
I just want to, and also I'm a chatter. I want to hack with friends.
I know what you mean. I'm totally. There's not really many people to ride with around me, and our riding's a bit rubbish. But I've
Yeah.
recently started like boxing up to go and out hacking with people, so like
I
locally.
I saw
Game
you on the
changer.
beach the other day on your stories. Jealous much?
Oh, so that's actually the beach. My parents live about 200 yards up the road from that.
That's
And
so
ever
cool.
since I was a little girl, I've always wanted, for some reason, I was horsey from birth. I don't know where it
Yeah.
came from, but I've
Weird,
always
isn't
wanted to
it?
be into horses. And I've always wanted to gallop across it. And so for my birthday, we all just kind of went, right, we'll meet up, we'll hack from this point, and we'll go and have a gallop on the beach. It was amazing. And I was like, this is why I do it. This is
Good
why I
for
do it.
you.
It
Yeah,
was so
that's
good.
amazing. Oh, that's so cool. And what was your result in the end at the dressage?
We got 67.5%.
That's
Second place.
amazing.
Yeah, we got
Second
team second as
place.
well. Yeah, it was so
That's
cool.
so cool. Well done, you. That is so,
Thank
so
you.
good. That
Thank
is not to
you.
be sniffed at,
Uh,
67.5.
it was really, yeah, I couldn't believe, and especially because it was affiliated, because I actually apologized to the because you have to like, you, you have to go up to the judge's car, don't you, and introduce yourself. So I was
Yeah.
like, hi, like I'm Cerys Basher, this is Dennis Town Lazy Days. It's like, I'm really sorry, I've never done this before. I don't know how it's gonna go. Really sorry if it's a car crash. And this little old lady, she was lovely. She was like, just do your best, have a good time. And I was like, I
Oh,
love you.
bless.
And we trotted
That's
off around
so
the outside
nice.
of the arena, and Bailey was like, let's go. It's like, this is going to be a disaster. But she
Bless
obviously
you.
really, yeah, it was, whether it was a this young girl, this girl looks like she could do with a boost, or what it was, I don't know. But yeah, I was over the moon with that score, because honestly, I came out of the test and I remember as we were doing leaving the arena on the long rein, I looked over to mum and was like, that is the worst I've ever ridden in my
Oh
life.
my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So,
Well, we
yeah,
can't wait to see you best then.
it'll score 58.
Amazing. That's so cool. Oh,
No.
thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
sorry.
No. Thank you so much for chatting to me. I really appreciate it. Thank you. It's so cool. I
Oh,
could
no.
sit here and chat to you all day, I think.
I know. Thank you for having me. It's been
If
great.
you
And
weren't,
I'm definitely going to sit and work out my warm-up routine now. I'll send you a picture of it later. See what you think.
yes, do it. It's so cool. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all your time and effort to get onto
Thank
this
you.
call. Thank you. And
Oh, thank you very much.
give my love to Bailey
I will
and the little
do. Thank
devil as well, of course. The Shetland ponies always need a shout out.
He's they're just the best. They are the
I
best, but they
I
are.
learned to ride on a Shetland, and for probably the first 3 years of my horse ownership time, I cried the entire
Yeah.
time. But the resilience that little monster taught me.
They are so many people are like, oh, you've got a pony for the kids. That's so lovely. I'm like, absolutely not.
I would
They
not
will
put my
not
kids
be
near
sitting
that
on
pony.
them.
It's like when you see
I
all
don't,
those Instagram
yeah,
reels where there's a massive warm blood and they're like, non-horsey people are scared of this horse. And then it pans to a Shetland and it's like, horsey people are scared of this
yeah.
horse. It's like, yeah.
I would sooner put my children on Bailey and take them out on him on the roads than I would ever put them on Munch and take. I tried when I lost Rubes, Munch was on his own for like a little while until I got Zoe, and I took him out for a walk in the road. It was the worst decision I've ever made in my life. This
Oh my
10
God.
hand 2 pony was cantering and bucking and kicking out, and just I was like, you 20, I think he was 27 then. I was like, you're 27, what are you doing? I was like, can you imagine if I'd put a saddle on this and stuck my
Oh
child on
my
him? It's
gosh, no.
yeah,
They've
it's
got
feral.
they've got a lot to say, haven't they?
Oh yeah, he is. If he could, I'd love to hear his stories, because I
Yes.
mean, he has got a lot to say. You put him in his fat pen at night, and you can see him like, "Are you serious?"
Absolutely not, woman. Love it.
Brilliant. They are brilliant.
I think I need a fat pen.
Yeah, me too.
It's just
I need someone to shut me in a fat pen at night.
just rain me off from the side of my kitchen where the fridge is.
Yeah, that's it. Have electric fencing around the fridge.
Fencing around it.
Yeah, it's the best. That's all we need.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on. Thank you. And I'll speak to you soon, hopefully.
Yeah, speak to you soon. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Cerys. Thank
you.
you. Bye.